one of the huge mistakes people make is to try and take that edge off with alcohol. Oh. First of all, it starts to really muddy all the consent stuff. So you're already playing with fire, right? Because when people are inebriated, they're not in their right mind.
Yeah.
Right? So the other thing is that by chemically removing that stress, many people come to depend on those chemicals to relax, and they don't learn the skills, right? As I always joke, now it's not a joke, it's serious. Nowadays, like every young male who wants to like get a little bit, jacked is like, should I take TRT? And I'm like, dude, you're 25. You're already filled with testosterone. They're like, yeah, but and you're like, learn how to train, learn how to eat. And when you're in your late 40s, talk to a doctor, freeze some sperm because it's going to shut down your sperm production. Maybe then, but like just chill. I think that, the most important thing really, if we're talking about forming intimacy, whether or not sexual intimacy, emotional intimacy, or both, is that people feel that their communications are vaulted between them, right?
Wow.
And I'm still learning, right? And we're still good friends. But I'll tell you one of the solutions to this. Men, find a good lesbian friend. You want to really understand where you're strong, where you're weak, and you want to learn to just kind of relax around women, be around a woman that you have no chance of sleeping with. They can say things like, she's crazy. Andrew, you date her, you're going to be in pain. And they can also say things like, she seems pretty cool. I would date her, except she's not into women. And
that's good.
Yeah. The key to all of it is a lot of exhales, a lot of nasal breathing, and just slow the whole thing down. Yeah. Slow the whole thing down. So the whole process there starts with just only going so far as then you communicate with the person. Slow down. These things have a real beauty to them because when people start entering that dance and communicating well with one another, all of a sudden, like the magic of biology takes over.
God, yeah.
And then someone thinks, oh, well, now it's going to go back. Then you just kind of restart and do the whole thing. And nowadays, I think young males go quickly. They're like, I'm going to take 20 milligrams of tadalafil, this, that. Listen, that probably would help. But learning how to do this thing that we call intimacy, and I think that slowing the whole thing down, like, hey, we're going to be together in bed 4 times before we ever actually have intercourse. Like it's weird to look at you while I say that, but you know what I'm talking about.
No.
You know what I think? I think that every male should understand that at some point, you're the satellite male.
Oh.
You're the satellite male. So you got to get out of that kind of thinking and understand that like dancing, like athletics, like it takes time to get good at. You need reps.
Yeah.
And you need reps under conditions where you can learn.